na ni clue bwana
egwatha kukiritora gusimba mbanyaro kwa this comment section
bwana
that's good bro.
All right, karibu sana ase ubutiko bwa bono amange nagendera tukokorekana twarabe tukwanira siasa igoro yobokorera iminsi tu ya Kenya lakini bona ninga kindingi ya togoswa sense moyende na ndi tukumira nase MSA yiga nga kyumugaka baba Raila Odinga abereka gutiga bangira boigo usikago tutiga 20 jumla igaso bwenge ense nebirerere tina manyanga yi taarifa inga yako nyorete nga ikwarenge na gwikira bona iga na raria ya alia wagendera to gwetera ayibunecha te bona
mbia mono ni tanga ni tigante benga kine kiranye kene ekiruru sana tu akiru na abana Kenya bonsi more especially abantu millennials and above abantu bari tu akine tutoroche the struggle that Raila Odinga went through kurwanirira yetu ya Kenya wikira baka freedom yetu kwa na una toleiga freedom yoko genda chi street go picket na go demonstrate you know we were there present ekero kinga kia chungwa na ndizi tuaroje kabisa uno mugaka Raila aturwanire wikresto ekere. He's been a great role model to majority of us because from him we drew the wisdom ya courage and the wisdom of knowledge. Ono amakweria ega baba, I was amongst the first people on your information. Actually, you saw a page on Facebook. I was amongst the very first people who posted egotebango muskira Raila Odinga otonyorire.
Yebana.
A group nere tolerende viongozi. One of the closest people to Raila Odinga akarika. Kutwara uchiruma asiali nkobori oronga mangana na kiari. Akabeka chiemoji chiri chiokolera. Amute ya atiga kolera tatabi what is the case. Agateba na bere bunereigo. So na nyorete information mapema sana kwenye ntaraboka. Actually I was still in bed. I'm telling you each day bunalige ndrete bunabukonya gokia the pain yoko lose Raila Odinga ekunya komentekana. Yani reality mbona ekunya gutohit zaidi na zaidi. I'm one of those people who's been hurt sana. Actually, I never thought that I loved Raila Odinga this much. And it's made me realize that in life, the legacy or the impact somebody creates goes deeper. Kabisa kabisa sa nkoro ime. Currently, as we're speaking, umuntu na achia benga ne adui ya Raila, I'm sure everybody's feeling the pain.
Yebona. Asense moyende abangeni go manye tena because abangeni go bagene tena ekerura asense merie go sire serikali gemene tena aye no mubisa bwensemo elia ekwameria serikali na asense mo yago ya siasa na monekera tukira bakaso mwaka we chief ibere merongevere na ibere niko kwa politike rugo kyobo jumbe ko asense mo yabo machoge
under the ticket ya
UDA na ase onkwane yaga somo gorobo baro watebire na taarifa yege usukura liko kwa Raila usagenda tokolekana agukunire sana na kiago konyora kura sense meyende na inde ngaye sabali echakirete yago na Raila Odinga na nini okwarega sense mo eliye serikali abwa asole paka litukeri gali ale.
One thing I want to let you know and inde kuba manyaba usibami ndobonse pia batotegerere tabono iga inde kemuga ne riko manyankiringa there is no enmity in politics. And the politicians are human beings. Abantu mbako babu nga politicians bono nga maybe nabantu babu ate chinkoro maybe chiege shetani goze nabantu batonyete bayibure tu from you know koru batayibure na mukungu. Politicians are human beings. And the politics is purely interest. There is nothing. We are fighting for resources and space.
Na abekia
making out. These are people nabantu bancha ine. No eno muzikira Raila Odinga, one thing I admired in him. Raila Odinga knew clearly nga siasa is purely about who gets what, when, and how. Actually, in a definition here, politics. It's about who gets what, when, and how. Nothing else. Na kikuwa ekoro angere, iga arengu muntu usipokete. Keronyo no kera abu chikura. He was quick to create peace. Very fast. Obu at least 3 years gucha kuru kina Moi, kuna Kibaki, kina Uhuru Kenyatta, kina paka gwikira bono iga no musike William Samoei Ruto. He was very fast to create peace. Na andimere omonyene buna kuiga kure broad-based government working together with the President William Samoei Ruto. That should clearly tell you ngaki siasa tebu adu ibonde wensi. Na keruko aligiri kwa nyorire ga bia sinjire next time unavumilia na kusonga mbele. Otherwise tuna abantu abamo sisi ni watu tunapendana and we are sharing this pain. Most probably the people who grew up with Raila Odinga because bantu bangi mbanya kumanya history yani. Nje kerona so siasa. My two mentors in politics, one was Kalonzo Musyoka and then Raila Odinga. Karona arenge minister county government ya Kisii, ya arenge government ya ODM. That is the moment I got the opportunity to interact closely. Yes. That was the first time nanyorete the opportunity to interact closely with Baba Raila Odinga. And I remember one day karonise to office ya Ega Capitol Hill, ali Upper Hill. I remember the way Raila Odinga he could connect bake kenyorkian kana mbodi thinga sei nunga inkamo te sei ton kenyenye akamation yumo waka gete nkari nga kuruiwe njogali mwaka naru kurukunya gete na nyagete kamote vinga yumo waka no sei tante mwaka kuritu amanyane nera 1992 kerungu chake kuri siasa kiango so
oyino mondo urete sia lakini umanyete
niu bake kenyorkia wime amanyete mu mwaka gete naru musani oyo. So this was a great icon. And then secondly, I admire the fact that Raila Odinga loved arts. He loved talents. Paka Raila kerago iga ko mukogenda bake stadium gochiko wochu mupira Kenya. Elitwa buga te kuende.
Alichire kikemerongo kianda chionse.
Can you imagine? Karanza the whole day. There are many games Raila Odinga aligocha baka agali uche ko watch Shabana. Yani is somebody that otogoseire sana. Baba didn't deserve to die abruptly. Raila deserved ko na aruara buna Kibaki aruarete aira ne kenyoroga ali bondo unya kwena na directions. So he has left us in a very awkward situation.
Asense muyende gotebekana na taigete gukinya muntu gusamu bwatoko boko oria gotebekana na engakiria araruo bisi osengakiria arasuke bona buna totigire na arukubeke gikoro tukiaye na no nyaboro ba mintwara of course kiama kia ODM ngia kora monchuro ligete aria Uhuru Odinga oigwa koba muraintenera we kiama kia ODM pakenga kieri na inde ba mwire bona na ingoko genderia ekiamike asengani gayogoteba na Raila tabwatete monto kobokara manyina gwatebire na ubwatira abange na hayo manyina nakubwata tokoboko kogendere legacy eriae asengani yona kiuraje beke.
Again, don't have even getting, don't make valid statements variously, and people view things differently. For me, I think for the past 20 years, Raila Odinga created a very powerful structure, political structure, which is ODM. And I don't think people, Raila in his own unique way. People are following Raila Odinga because he's unique. Nobody else can ever be like Raila Odinga. That's one thing we need to know. Bro, in life, there will never be a vacuum in leadership. People come, they go. And the new people, new blood, yasoka. Yagendereli. So, people should not be scared. Raila Odinga has done his bit. Raila Odinga okolirega zinyasa mutumete. Which he has done, and many of us are proud of. He has left us with a legacy of freedom of speech. Raila Odinga ototigire new constitution in Kenya. Raila Odinga brought us multipartyism, which we are enjoying. I think he has done his bit. Whether ODM exists, whether ODM doesn't exist, that is a non-issue. This is the way nature naturally create its leaders. So he has done his bit. Let's pray to God. Nyasaye will definitely bring new leadership, and very many more formations will come up, and probably maybe in the making of Raila Odinga, but that doesn't mean that life will not continue. Tutaendelea, maisha itajipanga, watu watajipanga na mambo itakuwa sawa.
Asense muyende tubwata iga ntubwata iga turatena neji generation ibere whereby ntubwata nsemo erieke gori kirikia basaye whereby millennials na Gen Z no barega bonsipi abubona ase nayo alafu ntubwate bari yake gori ekyo kira inge emyaka 50 guchigoro nekero kuri ebigori ebibere bari beka gori kirikia emyaka 50 guchigoro igentungire bayigenete nabuna bagaka bari ekero kuri boni gano banyarwata na igentunge Raila Amolo Odinga ateketeke korekane na inde nigo turachi toene kipake gya korekanire ali asatigirete na sense moye ntubateke gori kende bono guchakira bwocha insabata bana nyono burayobo na kiagerete nyono kurubekanu kwa basayo gachana etutegete bone ibintu bikorekana sinchira ende erengago naki ebigori bibere naki bono bigoche kuigwana erikogera because kia 50 gocha inse egetete ibintu bikorwe nchiragete naba bana barabwe bagocha gocha batana etutegete ibintu bigendererigwa igana iriko koerekia na nyone legacy eri ya Raila Odinga usiku kanikulikuae kugendera ukore miensetu ya Kenya.
You know mwanu Mindo Ishmael, the reason why Gen Z babwate chingurupono iga, it's because they're able to express themselves freely.
Bana.
Na yune gazi ya Raila Odinga. No you reteli Gen Z bata itakuwa on the street. Gen Z bata betenga baba, you have done enough. Tutige bono tokoreki togenderere. So even the Gen Zs imbama nyetenga for sure umuntu uchagetia maandamano umuntu oremeta kwenda to the streets is Raila Amolo Odinga. So we like it or not, the new generation ya chirebono it has its way injara kore bintu byabo abagaka abarengororo should never be your worry. Umuntu ikire miaka yayo zeno izitini kuzeza bini kuchigoro he has done his bit kenege yawo chakora ngabono ngawo ngentongere ntigari tintanya gokora oronga inge space yane no
lakini go chana nankore kore gati yakora kuno korochi.
Let me tell you ukongusana na kora kunkwanya komocha because these are two people from two different generations. Kwa roli abana abagaka bakore bintu byabo in a traditional way. Aba Gen Z ba utumia AI. Barobama think this thing who are you struggling when to retrieve information when we can easily retrieve this information through the digital means. But at the end of the day we need to know besides the new generation which is with the new style of doing things you never run away from the wisdom yabagaka. At the end of the day there is to an extent where Gen Z can push. They are very well in pushing for agenda, bringing change and the like. But at the end of the day, a leadership, for instance, sorry to use this. For instance, Babu Wino. He has been so much struggling. The kingpin, the imagination for instance, with his new style of seeing things. But until the death of Raila Odinga is still used to saying aki mbuyore lakini no bugate isibiti gete no bugana gete boka. So we must, whether we like it or not, these two generations must find a way of working because natominyoka Gen Z na bamnyoka ne speed yabo you will never beat experience. You understand? And the also experience comes with the managing your emotions. There's something called emotional intelligence. Vindombiro mwake rakorote banga to iraneri kira tiatokuwa nayo kwanyora abana abakentu abasaye nkoramyo kabere bakona perepere bakona mangana gete maybe banyora baitaniri baitaniri ekerengo asali no nege karokia bagaka. So whether we like it or not, the systems, for instance government systems to ucha kurukuru emete mali uchiyenga bono nga wajiri with your new style ngominyo kote kore bintu no there are already systems in place, and as a country we need to push towards the direction of creating very powerful systems whereby it doesn't matter nga muntu kioroborai uzu muntu kiwochikochoborai abe no musai abe no mongina abe no muga as long as the systems are working, whoever is holding power and positions doesn't really, really matter. So we appreciate each and every role that every generation is playing. Nando manyenga, we were millennials, we were young. Yes, because Gen Z a generation ere chance ikoruze koleruna millennials ikorukunga alpha. Bali barabatari violent but over explaining aki toeresa angonga ki what is the issue ngaki ya beta nerongo jere. So you take your time through that generation ngo ikore kwarosa, you gain the experience, you move, you let the other young generation play its role.
Ntubate serikali yabomo yabwo Raila bono buna timukirega nere ore koyegenderere ribori rena ndirina bono nkikira chiko korekana guchimotua ndigera chikubuneka obomo bombo chikogendera kororekana guse bono bwairega uno mugakanera atwikiremo
most likely na ndi nakwana rero onye igintu nkirinya saya konyete president yito William Samoei Ruto onye igintu nkiribori kia mwetiri it's the fact that he was able to create peace na Raila Odinga before akwe my friend yare kobanga bono iga Raila na Ruto mbare ngamo na ndi Raila ukulero kangu ndubu atinse kuruku Kenya. I'm telling you the truth. Kangu this country wouldn't be existing. Kanga bantabe ga kwaro brongo warware rumuganda baka bono gume tabantu no bali Kasarani. People are still in Kasarani in hundreds of thousands. Right? That should show you clearly that Raila Odinga in a way maybe probably predicted that his death was coming. Akaamua to create peace. And for sure Raila's death ya toro kiringa this man loved Kenya more than he loved himself. Because he has left us at a very peaceful position. Imagine yare ko bakangobona umedwa ndombambi netinga Raila akunachera. Kangobona yerega ki Ruto na wabireki.
Sigiri babiri bagusigikani
nero yagerire umugako gurireki utimukire kangobona ugisegiye cicire Kenya. So we thank God and moving forward bono I think I am not foreseeing any bigger issues because if there is one tribe umanyete are very loyal to their cause ni tribe Komorera. The Luos, my brother, even in politics, campus, university. The moment you know that you have the support of Luos, interest. Naturally. He will come naturally and they will die for you. You understand? So I think William is safe for now. He's extremely safe because of whatever Raila Odinga did. And whatever position that he left him. Now I will watch clip. I saw one kerabantu bataite which gotema kuogaga ali Karen. Abantu bakakana sana. I've seen other clips abantu bakwana ababangete bonda ali bautebanga. To bayisa gotema kuja ukwana aganga Ruto must go. Osojo ukwana one time. Kwariri. Intubono ge tole somugaga atu akorteki. Somugaga atutigire. Which is actually, on the other side nabora arorenga ngaki. But for me as a person, who's drawing a lot of inspiration from Raila Odinga, I think the presidency said that the country is bigger than anybody else is the most important thing that whenever I have about kinabono tuganirigo emulate.
Tuchakire emambia ya rero usina batugirana bakomogoroba uigoro ekerokeria muraibu insenararitie na meroberionsi yegendera takobekwa na emambia rero mubiro noika na kurumambe twarorire aya korekarire paka nkwarege tigi ya Kasarani asomogoroba obono chubo benchiri chichia bali chiburabura abantu bari baumire batigero ne chingoma bali tetora chakireke mambyo moyigoyo gabwiri tukurigima korwa uno muberoika asegetigia chindege paka asetore bono iga
so litanga nintebe nkelinga this is the most difficult time for the government more particularly a committee eteneneire na Kindiki amona Oburu Odinga. Actually, nabo yondako wabiru. Oburu nabako wabiru because he's a mourning brother. But the rest of the other committee members, I think korara nko hiyo. Stress yoka because the time frame is extremely short. Matukona hatatoka. This is a state, a state funeral. You need to ensure everything is moving, smoothly. Unaona babange tebu yanga Raila koruku endo koru airport.
Agana funeral by saine.
Koru funeral. At the parliament. You see, it couldn't work at parliament.
Ebaika sasa babado.
Ebaika sasa babado. Bali Mombasa Road. Waika at parliament. Wanyoranga this thing is not possible. And they had to push it to Kasarani. Imagine the committee has to make those decisions.
Within 5 minutes.
Within 5 minutes.
Make a decision.
You have to make sure service providers are paid. Wakanu service provider nere kemi nje ya nje gitonto ngo.
Omaite chinga kichwana kana serio ko sabone arokorwa.
Ine arokorwa.
Because of bargaining
koyo. So there is a lot of pressure. But for me, narwa muntu ndenarwa enda koti yote yabanga ikwendetige extended ya Raila Odinga. I think let's accord this in Mzee his wish the way he wanted. And again, secondly again, I think Raila namanyete na ro musani ono renge close nero gotebanga Raila na tebetenga matanga ya baka disruptinze. So I think in his wisdom he thought tiga matanga ya bwangu kwaruri tigabe bwangu within 3 days
ngobra kunya kure chinga kinyinge buna manga kunya okorekana
una kunya kure chinga kinyinga manga okorekana ara bantu muchaka bakakukwana chinkwano mundu na rurate na kwana politics is now sometimes politics does not even respect the death mundu acha kukwana chinkwana chia abantu bacha kurwana. I think he did that in his wisdom egere umuyoyo ere very peacefully. So far I can't blame the committee actually. Even if mistake is a miss up kidogo hapa na pale, forgive the committees because this is a very short period. Me have done events. I call it events. Sometimes what to are no enemy tenyevere ko bange event bro. You have a pressing. Utarikorara. So we want to wish them the very best. And I believe the president we have is a hands-on man. That's the beauty. He's a hands-on man. He doesn't drink. He is sober 24/7. So I'm sure Nairobi and the committee is also going to play, a key role in ensuring that things are happening. So I have no fear completely. I have confidence in the team, and we want to hope for the very best.
Toswa sense mo ye legacy yumugaka Raila Odinga eria tigire Maiga bintumbire bibero gusebita tugusebine biria buna hichate ayo manyere kibinafsi umanyete na ase legacy eria tigire ngwakwanere igoro yugotigense asense mo yomorembe lakini embire binge bwega nkwabeka katiba na yanda mange na arororo twira na se bone legacy burungeri yumugaka eria egoche gutigara ase bitabu ya historia.
I think the largest or the biggest legacy, Raila Odinga has left with us is the freedom that we are enjoying today. The fact that our Kenya, they are able to hold the government into account. Karuma ito mundu kwa rekobwanga nkiukukwana. Bono iga, bro ikerokoro rakuwa ruchi wikira even to an extent where president agucha go address Kenyans on Twitter, on X. Okay? All those things which I will give credit to the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. When you abatua kina bro this period of 2000 gocha I remember the way Raila Odinga alikuruteru chitiagas chiro mwaka uri alikorera neli seri more or street bro, those pictures they make us very emotional, extremely emotional. But you see his tears, the teargas is the reason why we are where we are today. Paka bono igamuntu tagutema guchiesa na constitution ya Kenya. Until when Raila happened in this country, somebody will just wake up, somebody will just wake up, ngane president, or change constitution the way he wants. Right now you can't dare. You can't try. But the only fear where are we going to get another man? Okoimoka bro, oigwa, yani umetida some instances inko inyora, kwa alkoro abasani ba Raila babwatiro zenjimi wanjigi. No nyamati ya nyomo nyene. There is a time eliga chikura chierete chia 2022. You remember there is a time akorere tuwe curfew.
Oboge mboga chaka.
Where Karen. Raila Odinga went there. That's the only man bro ule kusonga kurusiko gaba skari batama. Okuwa na uko yunga Raila yuko ruga bwa mandu bakoraki. Batama. That meant a lot to us. Okay? So I'm praying nganyasai anje ntoirane stuarenge togendere kurueso mugaka kunyato ikiri and we get better and better so that our democracy ekine zaidi
ase chinsemo cha Nyanza na mono of course etokobukanye binte bibe marakabire byonsi nsemo ya Nyanza chinga kichinyinga ino numurayo orobise ama tukamaiga ya rotabukana na konyo mugaka tarakwariganani karati kana kusiya ito murayi na bagocha na bakore tuna babunge lakini asensemo ya Nyanza kwa iguna konyo Raila Odinga tarakwariga nanda atare no murayi bwense
nanda
mo benere gali elime ira kobera kumusanyo nukorata amagenderero ekebono na kikera chikoba kuchimutua gusena ki ara chikoendera kweneki wanonyena ubo siboli bogechi kogendera kobara especially asensemo ya Nyanza.
You see now the beauty is Raila Odinga left his people in government. Before that happened, nonya president alikotema gutachararia in Nyanza. Today he goes there utara openly, enjoy na ande ubia president yaito akabo mungaini akabantu bae those positions ebirogo biribi tikanuma etenga kwa iwo minister kwa irugo sengai the moment you rujinga kwa irumo minister of finance for instance
ine ni botogo
kwa ateni ya Kenya yonspi what does that mean to that community it means inga key you are fully inside you are the people more monitor resources and for sure truth be told Raila Odinga I normally feel like Kingo Mwako has always been a president because my brother, you know, I don't know when Kisumu last. Kisumu is not like any city.
Yeah, changing.
It's not like any city in this country in terms of organization, in terms of cleanliness and the like. And I'm sure it's because of, you know, the influence of Raila Odinga. Even the road infrastructure. All the way to Kisumu. It's because of Raila's hand.
Ngakinere
arenge ngote sana na ndembe sana. Bonega it's one of the best roads in the country. So I want to say tindo chieni challenges nga nchichi kuchikoba busyoga because omugaka clearly na tigeta abantu bae na ningo yuku arenge bari gukwananga baba amesema. Kwa sababu ringa baba amesema nini? Unaelewa? So that respect and that legacy ya Raila Odinga, you know, we still continue living. That is one thing Raila Odinga abwete any politician in Kenya, including even in our community, and the courage. We have had instances mugusi kororekana ukubwatu one direction unenga kia ya Nyachae. And one of the reasons because Nyachae came out as a very courageous, you know, politician. He had the resources, he had the muscles to pull his people together. That is exactly what Raila Odinga had. Raila Odinga had the connections. Raila Odinga had the, you know, had the muscles. Raila Odinga had the structure for political party. Ya ODM. Which he actually achagrete kurunga sobo aka make sure ngabogere yonsi p there is no position ye kiamekyo. And the people respected him for that and the decisions that he was actually making. So to answer your question, in getting I don't foresee any challenges moving forward, but now that Baba is already left, and then I mediator, pull up together, there's a possibility that now Navera to disintegration here in ODM, people pulling to different directions, because you realize that even before Baba died, some people already pulling to different directions. You saw the Secretary General Funa, Kinababu, even kina Anthony Kibagende
mukakwa na guchokuri
ndokora kuchia and sometimes Baba could tell them relax umwe ko numwe urenge na bari kuchari mubwete nga Edwin Sifunanga ne bintu bya yawo kwana uchi function yote abanga wachana na kijana yangu abantu baba
mbagirira magana yo
aragira igo abantu abambadi bawo kwana kuchia otabanga tuko sawa kwa role he knew he had a way that he was, you know, managing these people and keeping them together. That's the only challenge we might have because moving forward abanda bawucha kuoga kero monta eruchinge tureke wangekema there is no powerful person urigurugari obwate more resources obwate more connections. You know, people feared Raila Odinga because they knew ginko mujira muntu mono chi connection mu ngako yabate na resources atanikanyaga animalize baira nanze wona abamuraba bakarobi barabara babiri batatu it might be an issue to keep, you know, to keep moving together tightly.
Asense muyende chinga kibune chiga cyari arekero kurigereria siasa nere yachakira okorekana imense to ya Kenya yobo gesaku guse korengana ne region na ekero siasa ikonya okorekana eketukana na Raila Odinga kozi nkonyorole na siasa no braibo okorekana maybe korengana ne region ya sokorwa egesaku kya gongere kieke guse religion nyone no gosasima ebyonsi byachakira go chaime turara chakira ase Raila Amolo Odinga asense mo yae ebintu mbere bitale kororekana asale maybe siasa yobugesaku usere region gete era nigare kenga kyakera no koreta ba Kenya amo wikira ibas twikeire na guchimutwa muntu na chatoke ugucha kogendereria ayaiga so that kwenekina siasa no nya no burai mburi guchikoba korengana ne region o egesaku bogesaku gose religion yago nyone na ideologies.
Correct. So there's the law of nature and there will never be a vacuum in leadership, but it might take time. It will take time. We carry level toko nyoru murai o cut across all the religions o cut across all the tribes. Raila Odinga, what made him a unique leader Otari Rais Konyora is the fact that he was able to galvanize igesa kukia yonspi kiomogere akasieka aka make sure ngaga even the opposition
ndio ko kwa keke bungwa
akasi agatukuta rojege kagenda ikabano ngano n'abantu bari barekorowekana barenge agemates bae baborengo and the rest they tried opposing him bakahika bakanyora negasi bakairana asare ekera kura kurwaria make sure ngo siekire nkasa obokorire he moved out akacha koba appealing to other communities all right akacha koba appealing even to the religion because he gerete when Raila was fighting he was fighting for everyone baka kero mo Kenya aga feeling for sure Raila is in Jenemba kino Muislamu whatever Raila is fighting for is going to favor me or is going to to help me as a person so people through bagatika na namangana a religion and they decided to support Raila Odinga as an individual okay and the simple things that were appealing about Raila Odinga is that even when he was in opposition holding opposition tight strong is what made Raila Odinga legacy there's a probability that Raila Odinga arikucha kwa president tarikucha kwa njumono bunanjire you understand because when you are in opposition you become the watchdog of the people so Raila Odinga akabeke bikoro tebi ya kabisa diriye serikali kunyanyaso mwananchi ga Raila utene no correct you remember there's a time I think this was in between 2013 and 2017 even some bit of 2018 Raila Odinga was something else serikali yarukwa negentoiga utene na ali apa hill utene obisi ya Capitol Hill
baka serikali ne kama chikorosi guchimate
ikachakorosi guchimate utene no kwa negento and for sure mwata yabanga akigende kinageto like get affected so that Raila Odinga to me is not just even a president that is more than a Nelson Mandela
okay
and actually his departure has clearly defined him as somebody or even beyond the legacy Nelson Mandela left.
Erio kero ke tuko chikokorera central choko ina fasi okwane engana yago yo mwerio Raila Odinga no muntu bwanchire at the same time no muntu bwangire yani 50% yali anchire the same 50% na ande elia angire ekerango kyo bwanchani na kikerango kelina inde angire warange nganinyo
Raila Odinga abantu bauta bamwangete they were pretenders and most of them were because of tribal issues not as a person people loved Raila Odinga actually I think almost everyone in this country loved Raila Odinga because even those people bari bari ko form government kerebindo biya basambire ebari ko nchuka batanga Raila koreki atokuanere atokonye so I will not equate it to hate I'll just say it's purely interest and mostly it's been tribal tribal politics uzikuri Raila agakwa abantu bamwedenga bakikoyo mbakora tiki bamwanchiti all the time Raila tried becoming president agatema koros Pentagon akaleta bakikoyo ime bagasinya agatema koleta Martha Karua bagasinya agatema koleta bakabweta na bakanuguru umonyene the prince of Kikuyus bade gakora ki egasinya I think what has been here has been purely tribal hatred not hate towards Raila Odinga as a person
okay
abantu wenando bangetenga ngantu bagere ndukantu bakore ndutaiti bagere lakini Raila Odinga as a person I doubt there is anyone in this country who hates that man
all right ase ogokorera kamera yago neye yegosia engana yago yo mwere dakika ye Maiga se gekwenda muno ye munenu so engakeye gabunense egendere tukumurera Raila Amolo Odinga
mbia muno sana abantu ba minto mwezi PS mwabeta mo particularly mo gusio minto nganchire take this opportunity whatever pole sana because Gusi land ya very for a long time ke go support musiki Raila Amolo Odinga and in a way mo usi totongire ntu nabantu twanchita abantu abaremu and Raila Odinga demonstrated that we have stood with him for the longest time possible and we appreciate chinga kichiritu abete to gusanga no musiki Raila Amolo Odinga and we appreciate the great things that he has done for us not only no mugusi but the entire country at large chinga kichi gatogendrete kurera omusiki Raila Amolo Odinga kuba sababa kusiba mintu mu SPS mwabeta let's remain peaceful keroto wonjo kana na each procession ichito keroto common, let's mourn in a very peaceful manner. Even in social media, kero to kurika our condolences messages, let's be mindful of other people so that tuhakikishe mugako yoiga onyorire a decent send off. And to the leaders, the upcoming leaders, I think Raila Odinga will demonstrate, which is say abantu wants be more particularly young and upcoming leaders, that the most important thing in life is the legacy that you leave behind. I think amekuwa kielelezo chema na naomba sana abagusiba minta bagambia mugo kina bono no mbali muri biruko bono iga manyanga kaenga kineike chinga kichikoera aidha uruobisi esenginjo ye constitution ose okwe uruesobo iko bwense. The most important thing, kindly study and follow what is happening currently ekerotogenderete kwanda mazishi ya mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. Let's love each other, let's be peaceful, we are just but a passing wind. Thank you very much. Biamano mwancho murigeria asoko bwati nkwane iga obotuko bwabono amono mugeni wito umunyekene asiri taliri ya kawaida Nature TV Soko TV oboroso bwumugusie kero moyigoyo iga oyarire amange na arumanyete turachi gukwanira baada ya hapa because bono mbone mikakati ya chakire kubiko bono na what next after umugaka Raila Odinga bono actually I was telling my wife Leronga I was not even keen which interview.
Yeah, okay.
But I said because I know content will be more after the burial. You must Raila Odinga. It's a one igano is so to we in a very somber mood. We are in the morning mood. So beginning of the next week there'll be more and more content.
Biamano mwancho murigeria yene Soko TV borosbu mugusire teriane Ishmael Mogera kwirana na chinsa isato na yande amange.